So do you have a product that you've always wanted made in China? Or do you have some items that you'd like to launch or get developed out there, but you're not sure exactly who to go with and how that process works? Well, you've come to the right place. Tom Gailey here, the Import Pro and author of Making the China Connection. Now in this book I've got a lot of tips on how to get that done, but I'd like to go through 4 very critical steps right here that'll really help you with that China program and product development. Now, the first tip is about factory choices. Make sure that you have 2 or 3 backup factories. A lot of times people find a factory, they get comfortable with it, looks great, and they go with it. And that may not be the right one. That can be a costly mistake. I've always said many times, it's easy to find any factory that can make a product. So many factories out there. But the key is finding the right factory with the right product capability. That's the right one to work with. I've made hundreds of products and I know how this works. So make sure that you get the right factory. Tip number 2, do a complete logistical analysis before you go too far. I've seen these guys get excited about a price and they don't look at everything. Logistical analysis would mean you're looking at all the shipping rates, inland, overland, sea, air, everything. But more importantly, you're taking a look at customs and duty. And that rate right there, you have to figure out that before you go too far. Too many times people think, well, I've got a great price, this is going to be great, but they get ahead of themselves. So make sure that you do a complete logistical analysis from the beginning. Tip number 3, pay very close attention to the prototyping process. That's something that people surprisingly overlook all the time. You know, you get prototypes from the factory and it's very easy to confuse those or not remember which one was which. We have a system, a set system. You're basically writing all over it. Put all your notes on it. Make sure that the dates and times and factory and everything is on there, because it's surprising how complicated it can be, and these are big mistakes that you're potentially looking at here if you're not able to keep track of the prototype. So you got to make sure to keep track and pay very close attention to the prototyping process. Tip number 4 is consider for a moment not going with mainland China. I know that may sound counterintuitive because everybody thinks, oh, China's the place. China's the place to make everything. Well, yeah, they're good for most things, but not quite everything. So you have to consider your options, and we help you kind of go through that. You know that Taiwan and Hong Kong are fantastic production corridors that are producing really good product. South Korea as well. The United States is making great product now. Maybe you don't need the hassle and the shipping and the logistics of bringing it over. So I'll tell you, you should be making this in the United States. Or there's other nations in the region. Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam is doing a really good job too. So make sure that you understand where you're working, and don't assume that mainland China is the place to be. We do look at that. So that's my tip number 4, is don't assume that China itself, mainland, is the place that you need to make this. You should look at other options. So one story I have experience with is working with the Taiwan government. They have a research park that is dedicated to renewable energies. They're leading the charge. They're pushing Germany and Japan for renewable energies. They're really creating some things, and that's what the government has to do with. So see, these are some of the tips that we have here. Send me some thoughts. I'd love to hear about what people have to say about product development and new ideas and things like that. I can help you with some guidance and some ideas. Happy to help. Thanks very much.